I mean, realistically, like, that's what it is. Like, if you want to get out of here whenever, it's not that busy right now, but you guys know what it is whenever it's busy.
Yeah, like, you can't get out that way.
Yeah.
You can't get out that way.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? Romine back again for Austin Trainings, and I'm with a good friend of mine here at Harvest Sound Church, Corwin.
How's it going?
How's it going, man? Good to see you, dude. We're freaking bros, man. This isn't even going to be like super, Bills, Texas. This isn't going to be super professional. Corwin is a good friend of mine. He has a lot of experience in church security. So this is going to be more than likely a part one of church security. So Corwin, if you want to take it away, talk about what you do and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so like I said, my name is Corwin. I run the church security team here at Harvest Sound. I've done other church security leadership roles in the past. So this is the closest one I've been to over the past like 6 years. The way I got into this was I was just bigger than everybody. And they were like, hey, do you want to be on the security team? And I'm like, sure, what do I do? And then over time, I can't play music, can't sing. And basically I was like, this is kind of cool. I like what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And training, I sell US Law Shield, can't really go into that too much, but it's kind of my realm, it's what I do, it's my passion, and we're just going to go over some key points if you guys are trying to make a security team at your church, or if you just want to know anything along the lines of how to do it, what to carry, what to look for, who do you want on your team, those types of things.
Heck yeah. So what would be, I guess, if somebody wants to get a better understanding of church security from a foundational standpoint, what's like the first steps that you want to look at when it comes to assessing a church, or how does that work? I don't know.
Yeah, so the biggest thing what I do whenever I come into church and I do a site assessment is, one, I see if they have a church security team in place.
Okay.
If they do, that's great. And obviously that can go either way.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know what you're working with.
Right.
But then two, you're looking at the building, okay? How big is the building? Do they have a kids area? How many doors do they have?
Okay.
And then you kind of start vetting the guys that are on the team.
Okay.
And you don't always want to vet for, how fast a draw is. You want to vet for character.
Good point.
Yeah. So character in church is actually a big one, because a lot of guys, they'll just like step up, puff their chest out and be like, hey dude, I've been doing church security for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm downtown Nashville on Friday nights doing downtown security. And I'm like, sweet man, you're babysitting adults and we're trying to bring people to Christ. So
right.
It's a little bit different whenever people come into church. You want to be more on the spiritual side. Like you want to kind of be like a happy greeter, but in the back of your mind, you're like, you don't want the Nephilim to come through the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're like some demonic figure. So you can be like, hey Jared, what's up? Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Come in, get a nice little pat, touch the hips. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Hey man, how you doing?
Yeah.
Dude, what are your first time today? You know, how's it going? Whatever you got to do. But you don't want to be like,
yeah.
You just don't want to do that. So there's a few things I normally do. It's one of them is like a DLR, means doesn't look right. Somebody comes in with a gun that's like out of there, or like outside the waistband, and it's like showing. You know what I mean? You don't want to scare people in the congregation. So you'd be like, hey Jared, can you either put that in the car or cover that up or something along those lines. Somebody comes in a hoodie, and it's 90 degrees out.
Red flag.
I mean, I can't pat down people here at church, so you just come up, hey man, how's it going? How's your Sunday? Why are you wearing a hoodie on whenever it's 90 degrees out? Man, it's hot, and they'll say something like, oh, I got skin cancer or something. I don't know, whatever they make up, you know what I mean? So there's a few ways to look at that, but I guess that's the beginning drift of where we're going with all this.
I never thought about that, like you're going in for the handshake and giving us light pat down as you're, that's slick. I like that.
So I don't discriminate on girls being on the security team either.
Yeah, right.
For that reason.
Yep.
But that's why, not everybody on the security team has to carry a gun. I need people to look at I need eyes. I need, where's everybody carrying their gun? Probably in their waistband, right?
Right.
So if somebody comes up to me, you'd be like, if you're on my security team, you'd be like, hey Corwin, that person's been sitting up against the wall like this, but you don't have a gun, you're just eyes, then I can go over there and say something to them. You know? But we always go in twos. We never go in one. So you would come with me, I'd be like, hey Jared, just stick right here. Okay, if something happens, obviously you never want to put hands on, obviously. Hands on, you'll catch yourself a case pretty quick. But you can go up and talk to them and just ask them, hey, what's up? What's going on? If anybody's acting strange, always go in twos, all that type of stuff. Yeah.
About how many people do you look for to be on a team for a church? I'm assuming it depends on the size of the church, but like is there a good number?
The size of the church is the biggest one, and how many services they have. So if they're running like 3 sermons a Sunday, you figure you probably need 5, 6 per service. So you're probably looking at like 15 to 20. But you want those people to be good people too. You just can't have, they're gonna come in, you don't even vet them, no background checks, you just throw them in there.
Yeah.
You hope for the best.
You can hit the shot at 25 yards. Great, you're in.
Upside down with your pinky.
Right, yeah.
No, you don't want guys like that. That's what I'm saying, it's more character, man. But if it's a bigger church, they're probably doing Wednesday nights. They're probably doing some sort of outreach program. So you have to realize that you'll probably get them good for a good 3 months, and then you'll burn them out, and then they'll never show up again. So you need to have a bigger squad, that way you can rotate them.
Okay.
And you have to have guys that want to do it, that have a passion for it. Guys like me that can't sing.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
When you were talking about, you want to have certain people who are good people, are there any type of, actual gun qualifications that you put them through to make sure they know what they're doing for the ones who want to carry?
Totally.
Okay.
But it is a volunteer position.
Okay.
So I want to do all that stuff with them. It's just how much they want to give.
Okay.
I would like them to have a handgun carry permit, obviously. I would like them to have U.S. Law Shield. And I would like to have a few other things, but a lot of people work a full-time job, and they can't commit to training once a week, having a draw time around 3 seconds or lower.
Right, yeah.
And most of the time, you get them out there on the range and they don't even know how to shoot their gun.
Yeah.
But they want to be on the security team.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say that, yes, I do.
Okay.
Because if I can get them out in the range and I can see that, then I know I need to work with them, they have a passion for it, or I can say, nah, you're out.
Yeah.
But most of the time I say, you have a passion for it, give me your eyes, and we'll work with you. Most of the guys I talk to, they love guns, realistically.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. They all want to be John Wick.
Yeah.
So we just kind of pat them on the back and say, yeah, me too.
Dude, have you ever thought of everybody having the same gun? Like, let's say a Glock 17, for instance. So if you get a man down, you could grab his mag, like if there was a church shooting.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bill you later.
Yeah. Yeah, bill me later, bro. Yeah. Same gun would be amazing. I think, it's just the volunteer stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, if somebody has a gun, that's what they're gonna roll with. So,
yeah. Okay.
Could have a safety on it. Could be a high point.
Dang.
Yeah. But you don't know their finances.
Yeah, true.
So you can't hate on it either.
Sure.
So, they're here to serve, and hopefully that gun goes off. But I am asking them to come to the range, so I know.
Yeah, for sure.
But they have the sticky holsters, or I had one guy come in the one day and he just had it in his pocket, and you could just see it pressing through, and I'm like, bro, can we get you a Kytex holster?
Yeah.
Get you something.
Yeah.
And if you can push the guys in that direction, most of them will catch on. But most of the time it's just eyes and maybe 2 or 3 guys that are actually committed that I can trust. And we just kind of run it from there. And, we as humans at church, we're called to, God can save anybody, and he can.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
There's a plenty of Bible verses of where, we get the carriage ready for God to take care of the rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's us. That's us preparing for whatever's coming down the pike. That's all we're trying to do here,
Have you noticed any type of changes in how you do church security after seeing stuff like what happened at Olstein's church, or, hearing about these church shootings going on, which are typically gun-free zones, which mass murderers pinpoint because they don't want any resistance?
Yeah. So one of the things that I try to push on all the churches that I do church security in is always having a police officer on site.
Okay.
Because we're not hard targets. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I wear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, even if I'm standing outside my church door looking around.
Wait, explain hard target for people who might not know what that means.
So a hard target would be like if I have a full plate vest on with an AR-15 and a drop holster with my 9mm.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there just getting ready to take on the world, okay? Soft target is, does it look like I have a gun on me today?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a soft target. So I might be looking at somebody coming through the door, shaking their hand and saying hi. In the back of my mind, I'm saying, what type of demon does this guy have?
Yeah.
You know, what are we going to deliver from him today?
Yeah.
But
there's guys in the background who are laughing.
Yeah, sorry. So hard target would be obviously a police officer, police car, something along those lines. Like you just said, if you had something like that outside of a church or a school, the chances of that school or church getting shot up, percentages go down. You know, and that's the first thing I would say. The second thing would be always keep guys at the front door and always cover the kids area. Those are
The kids area.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit more? Like, why cover the kids area?
Well, kids have multiple parents sometimes with different custody. Custody, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, they have different custody for the parents. So maybe the stepdad's coming in or the stepmom's coming in and take the kid, but they don't have the sticker. You know, we need to know what's going on. That way that kid doesn't get abducted.
Okay.
So we always, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking kids first.
Yeah.
Front door kids. And
Yeah.
then obviously pastors, pretty high up there as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, those are the big three that I try to keep an eye on whenever I'm in church. I'm always checking the front door, always looking for the kids, and always making sure pastor's good to go. And whenever I say pastor, I just mean the stage. You know, who's rushing the stage? Is there
Okay.
anybody acting weird close to the stage? If there's not, then we're good. Yeah.
So, all right, let's say you're coming in here for work. Let's talk about the first time you come in here to assess the building. What do you do? And then what are you doing on the days when it's just like, okay, it's another Monday, I'm coming in from work. How do you assess?
So how
Like, what's the procedure when you come in for work after you already kind of know the layout?
Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna have a radio area. Okay. We're gonna meet in the
Yeah.
radio area. I'm gonna do kind of a debrief of the day. Tell everybody what's going on. It's not gonna be hard. We have one service here, but tell everybody where they're going, what they're doing. Most of the time, the first guy that gets here, I want him to check the doors. Okay, just to make sure they're either locked or somebody's there. Just making sure everything's safe.
Yeah.
And then everything's in a triangle. Just think about a triangle. So if I set somebody at the front, you got a guy going back to the right, and you got a guy going back to the left. Okay. So anytime that there's an issue, somebody's moving to that. It's like the triangle offense. The Lakers won like 4 championships.
Yeah,
doing
a whole
that.
bunch. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. Okay.
Okay.
But then on top of that, you know, if something would happen, we'll kind of move further into the day. If something would happen and we have to take care of something, at the end of that day, I'm gonna pull everybody into the office and be like, hey, tell me what you thought. This didn't go right. Why'd you leave your spot to go help out? Because a lot of times what happens is once you get in that situation, your heart rate goes so high, you kind of forget what you just did. And it's good to just bring the guys in and talk about it. What could I have done better? How could I have done it? Because a lot of times you'll see guys that have been on the security team for 15 years and they love their church so much that something goes down and they run. But then the whole front door is wide open.
Like they run away?
They run towards the solution.
Okay.
Towards the problem.
Yeah.
But they're leaving their post.
Gotcha.
So in
yeah,
that
and
triangle,
they collapse.
You need to collapse it the correct way. And
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing I kind of go over with the guys. Like whenever this happens, you know, unless there's like a shooting or something like that, like you have to move in a way that keeps everybody safe.
Right.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good, man. All right, so what about, let's say you're showing up to the church, it's your first day on the job, you're like, I've never seen this building before. What are some of the things that you do to kind of get your feet under you?
Yeah. So first time I came here, I did a full walk around, just outside of the church, just to see what was on the outside of this place. Where were the areas that you can't see anybody coming, where easy accesses are to come and go in a car. But then, once you come in here, you kind of look around and see doors, windows. The big one for this church is there's no windows on the door, the front door. So technically,
I'm looking at the front door right now.
The front door, there's no window on that front door. So the security risk of that is if we have a guy right inside that door, we can't see who's coming.
Right.
So one of the things I'm talking to the gentleman that runs the church is actually putting a camera outside, so I don't have to stick to security guys outside.
Right.
So we're gonna do like
Smart.
a full 180 camera, and we'll see who's coming.
Okay.
Just so they don't have to sit out there in the elements.
Yeah.
So, because I care about my guys.
Right. Yeah. You got to make sure the morale is high.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Morale's high. But yeah, once I get in here, basically I just look for easy accesses for in and outs, and this one's real easy. Obviously, you see what's going on. But if it was a bigger church and they had 4 or 5 doors, obviously not all those doors are bulletproof. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the windows that are bulletproof. They can put that the layer of proofing on it.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so there's like a bulletproofing layer you can put on.
You can just put on a standard window.
It costs money.
Yeah.
Obviously, but a lot of churches don't have it. But that kind of goes back to the police officer thing. Like, if you want to have your church secure, you're gonna have to pay some money. Yeah.
Now, how willing are churches, in your experience, how willing are they to pay money? Do they try to cheap? They try to cheap out.
Yeah, they'll cheap out. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because God saves. We have faith.
I
don't. Yeah. So I'm kind of impartial. I don't even know if that's the word. I want to be here to serve because that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
But okay, I'll give you a good example. We had a spring fest the one time, and we had about 10 guys that were on ready to serve. Okay, and at the last minute, I think it was the Covenant shooting in Nashville. They came to us and they said, "Hey, Corwin, would you like it if we put 2 police officers with you?" And I said, "Heck yeah."
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I got the 2 police officers there, and everybody dropped off. Nobody served except for 2 guys. So it's kind of like one or the other. But do I think that a church should look into that type of stuff, because me and you, just civilians, we can't arrest somebody.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we had a police officer here and we can't even detain him, but if we can, put him in an area and just be like, "Hey, chill out."
Yeah. Right.
We need a police officers 2 steps away.
Yeah.
And that goes into if there ever was a shooting, what is the time in Nashville? 13 minutes before somebody gets here, something like that.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I remember I had a situation. It took them 20 minutes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Too long is the answer.
Too long.
Yeah.
But I mean, that goes into where my truck's sitting outside. Okay?
Right.
So my truck's sitting there because if anything would happen, somebody gets shot or anything like that, we basically just throw them in the back of my truck and shoot down to St. Thomas, because we can be in St. Thomas in 7 minutes.
Okay.
If we wait for an ambulance, 15.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
But then again, you have tourniquets. I have a go bag. You know what I mean? I have a bunch of stuff in my truck.
I was just about to ask what you had. Yeah.
We can do a truck dump later. How about
okay.
that? Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's just, you have to think this stuff through. That way, if it ever does happen, you're ready to go. Okay. So, hopefully it never happens.
Yeah, that's what you hope, man. And when I'm teaching people how to shoot, I'm like, you got to assess whatever threat. You got to have the same presentation. You want to train to have the same presentation every time you bring the gun out. And people will say, "Well, yeah, I hope I don't have to shoot anybody, though." Yeah, of course. That's what we all believe. Even though we like gear. I was even talking to Steven, my videographer, and we were talking about, man, gear is just awesome. Camera gear, guns, it's all kind of engineering. We were collecting, Hot Wheels as kids. We just like stuff, but it's cool to run around with the stuff. But at the same time, just because you're training, that doesn't mean that you're looking to take somebody's life. You're just preparing yourself. Yeah.
Preparing and being prudent will always get you further in life.
Yeah. I like that, man. Yeah. Preparing and being prudent will always get yourself further in life.
Yeah.
All right, I'm stealing it.
Hindsight's 2020.
Is there anything else that, because I know we could go into a whole lot. We're probably going to have multiple parts, but is there anything, like somebody who's thinking about being involved with church security, maybe some steps that you would tell them, hey, look out for this or be aware of this when going into it before you get started?
I think the biggest thing is be careful with your time. Because like a lot of people don't want to do church security. So the guys that want to be passionate about it and they find out that you're passionate about it, they'll run you into the ground because you might be the only person that does it. That would be the biggest thing. Other than that, it's great.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know, if you have a liking for guns, or if you have that like warrior mentality like God's given you from a kid to now, or whatever it is, like it's a way to protect somebody and do it in a way that's not what's the word for 2024?
Man, whatever. Everybody's gonna get mad about something.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like, oh, he's wearing plaid. What?
Yeah.
He's not serious.
Yeah. But no, like, you know, you think about like police officers, like defunding the police. You know what I'm saying? Or like anything along those lines. Like, if you get into that situation, a lot of politics come into it. Yeah. Like church security, you're just protecting the flock. You know what I mean? That's really what you're doing. That's all you're doing. Yeah. And it's a way to serve, and it's a way to give to your community. So I think it's great.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna do what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
Jared and Bailey are coming to church. Come on.
Yeah.
Whoa. Hey.
Hey, I'm walking here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You can't do that in 2024 coming to church.
Yeah.
But if they want to come in, all right, come on.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Welcome to
See you.
Harvest.
What's
What's up,
up?
man?
So glad to see
Good
you
to
guys.
see
You guys
My
been here
name's
before?
Ben. My name's Ben. What's yours?
Jared.
Jared. Good to meet you,
Sweet.
man.
First time?
Yeah, first
What's
time.
your name,
Sweet.
son?
Bailey.
Bailey. Good
sir.
to meet you, sir.
Oh, I get it. So you kind of hang out, feel them out first before you let them in.
Vibe check.
Yeah.
So
Vibe check.
Vibe check. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys passed. We can come in. Sorry for getting your camera wet. So you're moving. Okay, and he's on your hip. You're on my hip. I'm here. Grab. And you're walking me right out here. And then you see Ben over here to our left. He's taking that spot. Okay, you're coming with me. Okay. And then the door guy is going to, one of you guys can drop off, doesn't matter which one, and then we're going outside. So the parking is obviously along this back here, and then you see the field right there. But whenever you're walking up here, you obviously can't really see around this fence line right here, right? And then we got a bunch of bars and stuff on the other side of the road. Okay, so I'm kind of just looking to see, like, okay, how busy is this and how quickly can I get in and out of this area, you know, if I have to move.
Yeah.
And you know, you can see the parking right here, so this gets a little tight right here with all, if there's cars, right?
Yeah.
And then if you go down here to the other side, you can kind of see that it's the same thing. And then there's a train here too that actually stops traffic.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got this little area right here as well. So as you can see, if something would happen, we had to take somebody to the hospital, something along those lines on a Sunday morning, it could get a little hectic here, you know. But as far as the church goes, you know, we got gated windows, or whatever you want to call those. And realistically, it's not that hard to cover.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this big old rectangle.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we don't have like a double story. We don't have a kids area.
This whole street.
This whole street,
is
cars
always
on either side.
You got to go through like these little alleyways, up that way or up that way.
Yeah.
And if there's a concert, good luck trying to get down
You got
either
people
of those.
walking.
Yeah, I
on the
can see that.
So
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Easy. Well, yeah, I appreciate you coming in.
Dude, I appreciate you coming here. I'm glad we got this done. It's been like 6 months.
We've been trying to get this done forever, and Corwin and I are always hanging out. He comes into my carry permit classes and talks about all types of stuff that we probably can't talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so be sure to look for Corwin. We're going to do a part 2, maybe a part 3, and break down even more stuff. But this was really good, like just giving a general overview, and then we'll double back later on it.
For sure.
So,
We can deep dive.
yeah, deep dive.
Dig deep.
Either one, they both work. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Roll mine.